I think what's important to note is that emergency management crews have been working around the clock probably since yesterday afternoon, trying to make sure everyone is safe, trying to get all this debris and get the help to crews that need it.
And on the state level, EMA Director Art Faulkner joins us now via phone this morning. And when you look at the whole state as a whole, Art, where are you seeing the biggest damage, and kind of give us some assessment of damage and even fatalities, unfortunately?
Well, good morning, Stephen and Gina. We appreciate y'all covering this event throughout the night last night as we watched this weather event unfold. And this morning what we're doing, first thing, is trying to assess exactly where all the damage is. A lot of the storms moved through the state after dark last night. And so our first priority this morning is making sure we've got everyone accounted for and that we're taking care of those that are injured. And then, unfortunately, we do know that we've had some loss of life up in North Alabama early in the evening and then down in Tuscaloosa last night. But we'll continue working that and really getting an accurate picture of exactly what kind of damage we do have.
I know it's very early and you may not have all the details at this hour, but do you have any additional information about the fatality in Tuscaloosa?
Well, we don't. That happened late into the night last night, and all the information that I have right now is that we did have a fatality over there, and so we'll be working with those local officials and first responders today to make sure that everyone else is accounted for, and then as soon as we know that everyone is taken care of, then we'll start looking at trying to stabilize the situations throughout the area, and then we've got to be prepared for another possible round of storms tonight.
Okay, Art, this is Mark Prater. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. We're looking at a lot of damage video from parts of Mississippi, and we've got damage video all morning from around here. We're about to go through round two. What's your plan of action? What is the EMA shooting for today to try to get all the wheels turning before the storms hit?
Well, today our focus will be much as it was yesterday. We will be focused on making sure that everyone understands, even those that might have had damage last night, even those that may have had a lot of damage, that they understand that their safety going into this afternoon and tonight is paramount. And so it's even that much more important that they monitor the weather, because they may have to change what their emergency plan normally is to a new plan tonight.
Okay, and Art, one more question. Any suggestions for people who do have damage from storms? Again, straight line wind damage I think is overlooked so often, and it can be just as dangerous or damaging, more so than some smaller tornadoes. What's the best route for people to take if they do have damage in their home after storms tonight?
Well, that's a great question, Mark. And what people need to do is they number one, they need to be careful around that damaged area. Down power lines could be an issue, and so their safety is first and foremost. But then they need to let the local EMAs in each county know that damage has occurred, and that's something that they can contact their local officials or the local EMA and get that word to them to make sure that we're capturing all of that.
Art Faulkner, Stephen Houck back here now, and I have a question for you relative to Governor Bentley. Was he with you all throughout the storm systems last night there at the headquarters in Clanton?
The governor was there, just as we've been communicating throughout the weekend about this impending weather. The governor was at the State Emergency Operations Center. As soon as the storms started becoming severe here in the state, he immediately signed a state of emergency and already had a good number of the staff that responds to the State Emergency Operations Center in place by the time it hit. And so he also activated a contingent of the National Guard to make sure that they were ready to go at first light if they were needed. And we'll continue to monitor that situation and how he will have all of those assets at his availability today, tonight, and into tomorrow if needed until the threat has passed.
Now that the governor has declared these state of emergencies for these counties, what does it mean for areas like Kimberly? How soon could they see some help and assistance?
Well, they, as we saw last night, even from your station, you know, the first responders were out there last night, and so, you know, we have a process by which we have priorities that we need to meet, and so, you know, it may take a few days because we'll have to assess not only what happened last night, but we'll have to look at, you know, what may be happening today, tonight, and maybe in the morning, but we will get out there and look at all of these areas, and I'm sure that the governor over the next few days will be doing some assessment of the damage after we have a pretty good picture of what we've got.
All right, Art Faulkner on the phone, Alabama State EMA Director. We appreciate your time as always. You've been a good friend of the station. We appreciate it very much. I know you're going to have a busy day ahead.
Well, thank you, Stephen, Gina, and even Mark, and y'all do a great job in getting that word out to our citizens, and I know that it absolutely saved lives last night.
All right, thank you very much. We appreciate it, Art, for joining us this morning. I know you have a busy day ahead of you as well.